Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Deepika Lingdo, bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. The news of the new COVID-free football experimented at the Professional Training Centre of Castle de Briti, a reality of CINOSFAP, National Centre for Salesian Works, Training and Professional Updating, is beginning to spread on the main national newspapers. The basic idea recalls the old human table football, but with a dynamic rereading of the areas of play and the possible interactions between team members. In addition, there is a strong Salesian educational ideal that has aroused the company, as well as, of course, the particular context of distancing and the current social crisis. The Don Bosco Prep in Ramsey, New Jersey is an all-boys Catholic and Salesian school which prepares young people for college entry. Since its foundation in 1915, it has always carried on the education and evangelization of young people in the style of Don Bosco, who argued that education is a thing of the heart. So even today, the Salesians and their lay collaborators in the mission strive to create a family spirit and an oratory environment within the campus. Committed to strengthening children's school, technical and human skills, as well as empowering them and making them mature as young men, the school provides its students with rigorous academic education with university-level curricula and exams preparing them for college. In addition, the institute also encourages participation in extracurricular activities through various clubs and sports facilities. And Don Bosco's preventive system, founded on reason, religion and love, is a daily reality practiced by both educators and students of Don Bosco Prep. The Assam state government has been using the largest building at Don Bosco University in Guwahati for several months to treat people infected with COVID-19. For this reason, on February 20th, the government of the state of Assam awarded a plaque and a commendation to Don Bosco University of Guwahati that reads, "For the precious contribution made by your esteemed institution in the fight against COVID-19 in the state of Assam, which is remembered by posterity." On 6th and 7th February, the Provincial Congress of Salesian Cooperators of Paraguay took place in the Shrine of Mary Help of Christians. The event took place in the presence of Don Mario Villalba, Superior of the Salesian Province of Paraguay, PAR, Sister Marcia Toledo, FMA Inspector, the Provincial Delegates of Salesian Cooperators of the Salesian, Don Dionisio Medina, and FMA Sister Marcelina Irala. During the assembly, the new members of the Provincial Council of Salesian Cooperators were elected for the 3-year period 2021 to 2023, which will be coordinated by Rodrigo Irazosta. On February 11th, the opening of the commemorations for the 90th anniversary of the Salesian College Don Bosco of Araxa was celebrated. The Eucharist was presided over by Don Natale Vitali, Superior of the Salesian Province of Brazil Belo Horizonte BBH, and concelebrated by various Salesian priests. The celebration was attended by the collaborators of Araxa's Salesian work, while parents, students, educators and the community witnessed the live broadcast on digital platforms. Thanks to the help of the Salesian NGO Don Bosco Jugendhilfe Welwit, Switzerland, where houses called Containers of Joy are being built in the Palabek refugee camp, where refugees deposit their crops according to their respective availability. In the field, in fact, each family has a small plot of land of 30 meters by 30 meters, which can hardly alone meet all family needs. For this reason, it was decided to put all the crops together in this way. An area can collect up to 6 tons of products, which are then sold directly on the market without intermediaries, and in the end, each refugee receives compensation based on his contribution. Under this system, refugees can buy clothes, hygiene items, food, medicines, and can even provide for the education of their children. "100 years well spent, with numerous parts successfully undertaken and many anecdotes to share. But above all, 100 years of life given to others. These are those experienced by the Salesian Don Bruno Bertolazzi, passed from the military uniform worn during the Second World War against the Nazis to the uniform of Don Bosco in service to young people and to the Salesian congregation. Today, he resides in Potenza, still celebrates Mass and uses Facebook with the many alumni who are still looking for him. When he first joined Potenza, Bruno was 23 years old. In his hands, he tightens the handlebars of a powerful Uzguzi. He wears the uniform of the first motorized group and drives the car column that will have to reach Caserta. The row of trucks and armored vehicles crosses the Appian Way between two wings of cheering crowds. Many wave the tricolour, someone cries, someone throws flowers. It was poetic, commenced today Don Bruno Bertolazzi, 100 years old, on September 15 in the hall of the Oratory of Don Bosco in the square of the same name in Potenza. Somos Más. We are more, an initiative born in Spain, which promotes messages of peace and tolerance on social networks and fights hate speech. The project is carried out by Google along with the Spanish government and other institutions and NGOs including Misiones Salesianas and the Jóvenes Desarrollo Foundation. Unaccompanied foreign minors (MSNA) have been welcomed for many years in the Social Children's Home (MECS) in French of the Don Bosco Action Social Network. But in the last 5 years, this apostolate has received a clear acceleration, so much so that today there are almost 1,000 MSNAs accompanied by the Salesian network. What? Where? Because? Here's the answer to all these questions. In November 2016, during the dismantling of the so-called Calayas jungle, a slum built on the outskirts of Calayas, NDT by the state, the Don Bosco Institute in Gradingnan IDB was asked to welcome 12 young Afghans within 48 hours. In response to this request, the Institute realized 4 obvious facts. If it wanted to be true to its history, the IDB had to respond positively to the requests. These young people were minors like everyone else, but whose background and experience required special supervision obligation. State MECS systems were saturated. The councils could be a solution for some, but priority had to be given to individuals or at the most shared accommodation. The Association of Mary Help of Christians of Utrera has begun to celebrate its 125th founding anniversary with the presentation of commemorative poster and logo as well as the first acts of the ephemeris. This Salesian entity is the oldest of all that exist in Spain to worship the Virgin of Don Bosco, being the 17th in the antiquity of the whole planet. The first call of this anniversary has brought with it the presentation of the announcer poster by Utrerano Antonio Rodriguez Ledesma. The main symbol that stars in the poster revolves around 8, the root of the Virgin's name, and a fundamental aspect both today and throughout the history of the association. This argument is supported by the presence of a hand that descends from the top in the composition, the heavenly, in reference to Saint John Bosco, who helps a person whose hand is born from Utrera. Represented with a view of the city in which, among other buildings, the facade of the Salesian house is contemplated. Precisely as an anniversary motto, you can read the phrase 125 years of help in Utrera. Yesterday, 25th February, is the liturgical feast of St. Luigi Versiglia and St. Callisto Caravaggio, Salesian pro-martyrs. On February 13, 1930, the missionaries were in Sichao for the pastoral visit to the Linchao mission. Some boys and girls also accompanied them. On February 25th, a group of pirates stopped the boat and they were traveling on and tried to take on the girls. The 2 missionaries heroically tried to prevent it, but were severely beaten and finally shot. Before being killed, however, they managed to confess to each other and their last breath was that for the souls of the beloved China. John Paul II canonized them on 1st October 2000. With this solemn proclamation of holiness, the Church intends to recognize that those martyrs are an example of courage and consistency for all of us. What better example of a worker than Saint Jose? A beautiful reflection on your work, apart from being a patron of Universal Church, model of husband, model of father, patron of families and good death, Saint Joseph is also known as a patron of workers. Pope Pius XII in 1955 instituted May 1st as the day of Saint Joseph Obrero, being a way to remember the Christian sense of work and to Christianize the World Workers' Day. In a first-time effort in Hills Academia Industry Partnership Initiative to empower tea garden women was launched on 21st February 2021. Salesian College Sonada, established in 1938, and the Tea Promoters India, who own plantations in Darjeeling, Dhoars, Assam and Kerala, have launched a pilot project entitled Women Empowerment in Tea Communities Workshop to be spread on 5 Sundays from 21st February to 21st March 2021. In the first phase, 10 women workers from 3 gardens are being trained in health and hygiene, domestic violence and rights, parenting skills, alcohol and substance abuse, and formation of self-help groups. The newly opened Bachelor of Social Work department under its head assistant professor Sumina Chetri and 8 students organized the workshop. Welcoming participants and plantation management staff, Rector of Salesian College Sonada, Father Tommy Augustine said, "This Women Empowerment Workshop is part of our social outreach program." Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.